Hi guys, it's Duana. Happy New Year! Welcome back to my channel. I want to show you my sewing studio exactly as it is right now. Not styled, not cleaned up, because this room tells a bigger story than I realized. Here is a look at my sewing space. Storage, and I can actually turn the lights on here so you can see a little bit better. Here is a closet-ish. It's like an armoire that I put my clothes that I've sewn. All of these are sewn clothes, where I put some of my favorite purses. Giant bear on a chair. A closet that I'm gonna use for fabric. Mannequin with one of my latest makes. This is one of my patterns, the Virginia dress pattern. My irons and some tools and whatnot. That's my sewing space. For a long time, I thought that having more supplies would make me more creative, that more fabric meant more sewing, more tools meant more motivation, but somewhere along the way, this space stopped feeling inspiring and started feeling overwhelming. So let's get started on part 1 of my sewing studio series, where I discuss how overconsumption has taken over my studio and how this year I'm going to focus on being more intentional with my space. So I started sewing roughly around 2014, so that was about almost 12 years ago, and I actually got my first sewing machine from my mom, and I didn't even know what Joann's Fabrics was when I first started sewing. Like, rest in peace, Joann's Fabrics. But in 2014, all I had was like a sewing machine, I had fabric, I had a pair of scissors. I just had the bare minimum. And it was until I went to Joann's Fabrics when I discovered there was a whole new world of supplies that I had no idea about. So there was patterns. That was a huge one for me, because I was like, you mean to tell me that all I need is to cut this out and then lay my fabric out and put the pattern on and just cut it out and I can put it together and my outfit's there? So I started collecting patterns, and Joann's Fabrics had these $1.99 pattern sales, and I used to go nuts. Have I used them all now? No, I haven't. And so I have probably, I want to say about over hundreds of patterns that I have not opened yet. And there's this hope in my mind that I will, but so far it hasn't happened. And then it came to fabric, and Joann's had a wide selection. Then I discovered Hobby Lobby, and then online fabrics. I think buying online fabrics is what did it for me. So when I discovered that you can buy fabric online, that was a game changer. I really wasn't thinking about buying fabric online. I didn't even know anything about fabric. I used to just get 100% cotton, the ones they use for quilting to make outfits. I remember one time I made an outfit, and I showed my husband. He was like, is it done? I'm like, yeah, it's done. But it was because I used the wrong fabric. So when I discovered different types of fabrics, it got real crazy, and I started collecting fabrics. The biggest issue was I have an idea of an outfit I wanted to make, and then I would buy the fabric and never actually make the outfit. And then I put it away in my closet and then never look at it again. By the time I'm ready to use the fabric or make the outfit, when I'm ready to make the outfit, I don't want to use that fabric no more. My tastes have changed, and now I want to get a new fabric for it. I have like 2 of multiple tools, sewing tools. I have a lot of measuring tape. I have a lot of elastic, buttons. I'm finding all this stuff that I bought that I have not touched. And I remember I lost some needles, and then I ordered some more needles, and now I have this needles. I found the old needles. And it just became so much. I feel like I can have an actual sewing store here. Like, that's how much stuff I have. In 2022, we moved to a condo style townhouse. And this, I will say, this had to have been my most favorite sewing space ever. So it was actually the master bedroom. The rooms were so small, and I had so much things from all the stuff I collected over the years. So I ended up using the master bedroom for my sewing space, and it actually got worse. I started collecting more stuff because I thought I had all the space. And it got pretty bad. Like, it got pretty bad. I created a table like this. So this is actually a duplicate to that table. So I didn't actually keep the old table when we moved again. I bought another one, and I basically am trying to not overdo it again. It actually took me until summer of 2025 to actually start unpacking my sewing studio boxes. And when I started unpacking it, that's when I realized that it's just gotten out of hand. And I realized I had so much stuff that I don't even use. I have stuff that, from the excitement of a new craft or new hobby, I just started collecting stuff. So if I were to start my own nail salon, I could. During the COVID era, when nail salons shut down, I used to get my nails done all the time. I actually took a break this year just to kind of let it breathe, because I haven't not done my nails for over like 10 years. I got the supplies for an acrylic set. I got the UV light. I got everything. I don't even use it anymore. I also have enough stuff to make t-shirts. I got a Cricut. I got a heat press. I don't use that. I mean, I did use it actually this past few months, like last month, to do shirts for Disney. Like, we went to Disney and I made shirts for my family. And I have shoemaking supplies, and I have tie-dye shirt making supplies, and I have bag making supplies, and I have a collection of vintage sewing machines. I've collected over 20 vintage sewing machines in my life. And in my sewing studio right now, there's probably 5 laid out, and the rest is in storage. Like, what do I even need for that? I used to be a teacher. I have supplies from that. I have a bunch of clothes here that I don't even wear, because I decided I wanted to bring my sewing clothes down here to store, and I don't wear a lot of them. A lot of them I made because they were cute. You know, they were pretty. The fabric was nice, but in the end, I can't even wear most of them because they're for very specific events. And I started making clothes for every event that I went to, like even vacation. I actually brought sewing machines to vacation. Don't do that. My husband did not like that, but I did it. And so with the fabric that I have, because I have so much, I have a whole closet full upstairs, and then I have a closet that is starting to be filled here of stuff I'm buying and then just storing and not even using right now, but plans for my fabric. So I'm probably going to sort it into categories. So sewing this year, the ones that I definitely plan on sewing this year, the ones that I love, but I just have no plan for them. I bought them in a time where I was just, you know, in the mood, like colorful prints. I love prints, but I don't wear prints out a lot. So I love it, but there's really no plan for it. And then I want to also have a pile where I'm going to release certain fabrics, donate, sell, gift, repurpose, in whatever way I possibly can. But over the years, this clutter actually really impacted my creativity. I was making to fit trends that I never cared about. I also started noticing how much of this space was built through just overconsumption, buying things because they were on sale, because I saw someone else use them, or because I was afraid of missing out. And this isn't about shame. I love sewing, and I don't regret learning what I like and don't like through this experience. But I do want to be more intentional this year with what I own, with what I make, and with how this space supports my creativity. In this next video, I'm going to start going through everything and deciding what actually deserves space here. If you sew or you craft, or if you have fallen into the trap of overconsumption, I'd love to know. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by your own supplies or the things you've bought? Whether it be shoes or clothes, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching part 1 of my sewing studio series, and I hope you subscribe. I hope you come back, because I'm really excited about this series. I just want to share more about who I am, my sewing space, and just the things that I have learned over the years being a sewist, just a creative in general, because I think creative represents different areas of your life and how you've applied that to your life. And that's just the person that I am. So I'm hoping that you follow along in this journey, and I hope to see you next time.